So today we're going to be performing the FMS shoulder mobility and the trunk stability tests. So for the shoulder mobility, I'm first going to measure the distance from the crease closest to her palm to the tip of her finger. So that is 6.5 inches. So now she's going to put her thumb onto her palm and tuck her fingers over it to make a fist. Perfect. And turn around. And now she's going to extend her arms and put one up and one down and just kind of leave them there. Okay, I'm going to measure. They are 3/4 of an inch apart. Now she's going to do the test a second time, going the same direction. And it's 1/4 of an inch apart. And now she's going to do the test a third time, going the same direction. And they're touching. All right. And was there any pain with that?
Nope.
No pain with that. So that is a 3 on the FMS scale. So now we're going to do the other side. So fists in the same position, arms crossing, and they're touching. All right. Second try. And it's 1 1/4 inches apart.
Oops.
Okay, and they're touching again. So did you have any pain with that?
Nope.
Okay, no pain with that. So that's also a 3 on the scale because her hand length was 6.5 inches and neither of those were any close to that. She was under 1 inch for almost everyone. So. Yeah. Okay, so now we're going to do the trunk stability test. So Audrey's going to get in the push-up position and do 1 push-up, come back up, pause, do a second one, and then she's going to do the spinal extension clearing test to make sure there's no pain with this exercise. So I will watch her form and make observations. So, all right, there's a little bit of lag in the spine and her hands are actually right under her shoulders. Now for the second one. All right, once again, a little bit of lag in the spine and hands still in the same position.
Right.
So now she's going to do the spinal extension clearing test. All right, and how does that feel?
No pain, so we're good.
No pain. So unfortunately, she only scores a 1 for this test because there was a lag in the spine. To score a 2 or a 3, there has to be no lag. But there was no pain, so that's good.
Yay!
So there's many things that we as a personal trainer can do to address any deficiencies in FMS testing. So my client did not have a deficiency in her shoulder mobility test, but if she did, I'm just going to explain 2 corrective exercises that I could have her do. So the first one, I would have her get into the quadruped position. So that means that she would get on her hands and knees, and her knees would be directly under her hips, and her hands would be placed directly under her shoulders. And she would kind of sit back into this so that her lumbar spine was stable, and this exercise would really just focus on her T-spine. And then I would have her place her hand behind her head, so elbow out like this, and then move the elbow towards the opposite knee. So all the way down. And then I would have her move it back up, have her eyesight follow this, and I'd have her do that on both sides. And this really focuses on the T-spine, mobility, and rotation. A second corrective exercise that I'd have her do is for her to lay supine on the floor. I would stand over her, have her extend her arm straight out, and I would grab her hand. And then I would tell her to lock her shoulder, so tense up all of her shoulder and arm muscles, and I would actually pull her up from the floor. So with her arm locked in that straight position, she would lift up right at her waist and keep that arm straight. And that would focus on the shoulder and those muscles there. So for trunk stability, I'm just going to explain 2 exercises as well. If there were deficiencies in that, which Audrey did have, I would actually first have her do a modified push-up. So I would have her get onto her knees instead of on her toes when doing the push-up, and then do a push-up while on her knees. And so that actually makes the exercise a little easier. And we won't see that lag in her spine anymore. And then the second one would be an incline push-up. And so she would stand by maybe a table, something that's like 3-4 feet tall, put her hands on the table, put her feet maybe 3 feet back, and do a push-up on this table. And this should also make it a little easier and help her be able to focus on keeping her core tight and her spine straight. So really stabilizes that trunk.